Hello and welcome to Algebra 1, Chapter 10.2, and today we're going to discuss operations with radicals. First on our list is adding and subtracting, and so the deal is in order to add and subtract radicals, their radicands, which is the thing underneath the radical sign, have to be exactly the same. Right? So you can add square root of 3 plus the square root of 3, that actually becomes 2 square roots of 3. But if you have the square root of 3 plus the square root of 5, that's just the square root of 3 plus the square root of 5. You can't combine those. They're unlike terms. Okay? So starting out here, we have 6 square roots of 5 plus 2 square roots of 5 minus 5 square roots of 5. And since they are all square root of 5, 6 plus 2 is 8 minus 5. There are 3 of them left. 3 square roots of 5. Okay. So looking at the second one, we have several square roots of 2 and several square roots of 11. Neither of those simplify, so there's no reducing them. But if we just combine our like terms, so 7 square roots of 2 minus 6 square roots of 2, remember the sign in front of it goes with it, that's going to make 1 square root of 2. All right, and then 8 square root of 11 minus 4 square root of 11 is going to be a positive 4 square root of 11, and that's your answer. There's nothing else you can do to it. All right, so if you have the same radicals, so I have all radical 2's, so we have 3 minus 5 is going to be negative 2 plus 1. There's a 1 right there. Plus 1 is going to be negative 1 square root of 2, or you could just write it as a negative square root of 2. The negative does stay on the outside. And for the other one, we're just going to combine like radicals. So we have a 15 square root of 11 and a negative 11 square root of 11. So that leaves us with 4 square root of 11. And then a negative 14, that negative goes with it, negative 14 square root of 13 plus 6 square root of 13 is a negative 8 square root of 13. And that's your answer. So the next step is what happens if I can simplify them? And so if we look here, 6 square root of 27 plus 8 square root of 12 plus 2 square root of 15, none of them can be combined as is. But they all simplify. So 27 is 9 times 3. So that becomes 3 square root of 3, and it's times 6. So there's 18 square root of 3. 12 is 4 and 3, which is 2 square root of 3 times 8. So plus 16 square root of 3. And 75 is 25 and 3. 5 square root of 3, and it's times that 2, so plus 10 square root of 3. And now they're all square roots of 3, and so we can combine them. And so we're going to do 18 plus 16 plus 10. I believe we get 44 square root 3. Okay. So looking at the next one here, 54. So what squared number goes into 54? 9 times 6, so there's square root of 9, square root of 6, so that's 3 square root of 6, and you're going to take that times 4, so we get 12 square root of 6, and then 24, 4 and 6, so 2 square root of 6 times 2, so this is going to be plus 4 square root of 6, and it's going to be minus, because there's a minus sign there, 150, 25, and 6, which is 5 square root of 6. There's nothing in front of that one. So 16 minus 5 would be 11 square root of 6. So if you can simplify them, you have to simplify them and then try to combine them. So 12, we're looking at 4 and 3. Which is 2 square root of 3 times that 4, we get 8 square root of 3. It's going to be minus 16 and 3. So 4 square root of 3 times 6, there's 24 square root of 3 plus 4 and 6 again, 2 square root of 6 times 5, 10 square root of 6. Okay, and if they all don't combine, that's fine. Combine what you can. So this would be a negative 16 square root of 3 plus 10 square root of 6, as those don't combine. Okay. By the way, if you're wanting a way to kind of check these, is you can type this original into your calculator. Just type it just like that into your calculator. Make sure to close all parentheses for square roots and get that as a decimal, and then type the answer into your calculator as a decimal, and get a decimal for there, and the decimal should be equal. So it might not tell you that you have the overall most reduced answer, but it's going to tell you at least if you have the same thing, because you should have the same thing. We should not be changing it, just kind of rewriting it. Alright, so our next step then is some multiplying, and here we have binomials times binomials, and so we are going to FOIL, just like you've done before. So first times first, okay, so remember you can multiply the numbers outside, so that's 30, and then you multiply the numbers inside, so square root of 50, but you don't multiply the numbers outside with the numbers inside. That's the exception there. Alright, outside looks like negative 10 square root of 30. Inside looks like negative 24 square root of 30. And last looks like plus, negative times a negative there, 8 square root of 18. So from here, you're exactly where you were on those last few slides of now does it simplify. So we're looking at square root of 25 square root of 2. So 5 square root of 2 times 30, 150 square root of 2. Square root of 30 doesn't simplify, so minus 10 square root of 30. Minus 24 square root of 30. Alright, and then 9 and 2. So 3 square root of 2, but it's times 8. So plus 24 square root of 2. And just combining the like terms, looks like we have 174 square root of 2 minus 34 square root of 30. That's your answer. Sometimes they're a lot nicer than that. Sometimes that's all you get. Alright, so let's try another one. First times first looks like 24 square root of 70. Okay. Outside, negative 30 square root of 42. Inside is plus 12 square root of 20. And last is minus 15 square root of 12. And then what simplifies? So nothing goes into 4 doesn't go into 70, 9 doesn't go into 70, 16, 25, 36, so that stays 24 square root of 70. 4 doesn't go into 42, 9 doesn't go into 42, 16 doesn't go into 42, 25 doesn't go into 42, that stays minus 30 square root of 42. 20 simplifies, 4 and 5, so 2 square root of 5, that's times 12, so we're going to have plus 24 square root of 5. And 12 simplifies into 4 and 3, which is 2 square root of 3 times that 15. Make sure we do a minus sign, so minus 30 square root of 3. And none of the square roots are the same. That's your answer. That whole thing there is your answer. All right, a quick word problem to look at. We want to find the area of a rectangle in simplest form. We have a width and a length, and we happen to know that area is length times width. So if I want the area, I'm going to take the length, and I'm going to multiply it by the width. And I have a binomial times a binomial, so I am going to be FOILing. So first, it looks like we have 20 square root of 18. Outside is negative 10 square root of 30. Inside is 28 square root of 30. And last is negative 14 square root of 50. All right, so what there can we simplify? 18 is 9 and 2, which is 3 square root of 2 times 20. 20 times 3, 20, 40, 60 square root of 2. 30 does not simplify. And so let's actually, yeah, we'll keep it at the moment. 30 doesn't simplify. The other 30 doesn't simplify. And 50, though, is 25 and 2. So 5 square root of 2 times 14, it's a negative, so minus 70 square root of 2. And combining like terms, we're looking at negative 10 square root of 2 plus 18 square root of 30. And that is it in simplest radical form. All right, there's 10-2, operations with radicals. Let me know if you have any questions, and if not, I will see you in class. Have a great day.